Ahoy! Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to another podcast. And I would like to also welcome here my today's guest, Angelika Scharmach, German who recently moved to the Czech Republic. Hello, Angelika.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
I have here prepared like several topics that we can go through. And so far, I'm having big expectations because I even prepared here a small game that we can try to play.
And okay, cool.
Currently, what's your level of Czech language? Is it A1 or A2?
It's probably a little bit less than A1.
Then it's really cool. Really cool because I prepared several words that we took from German to our Czech language, and we modified them based on how Czech language works. So I will say them in Czech, and we'll see if you can figure out like what's the meaning or from which word it comes from. And then maybe the most difficult part will be that then we also have to translate it to English so that people who don't speak Czech or German will understand what we are talking about. Let's start with some nice one. If you are ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
The first one is flaška.
Yeah, that must be flasche, which is bottle probably.
Exactly.
And then my friend and her boyfriend, they always try. She speaks English and German, and he only speaks Czech. So he always tries to tell us new words. And he was pointing to things and telling us names. And he also pointed to a bottle and said Flashka. And then she looked at him and she was like, "To není flaška." So this is not Flashka. And I was like, is it lahev? And lahev is like the other word, which is probably a little bit more in the written word, and Flashka is more in the spoken.
Yes.
And then they looked at each other. That was so funny.
Exactly. Many of the words that I will be saying are not common in the written language. It's only the spoken one. So if you would look for some really proper way of speaking, then you wouldn't use most of these words because they are sometimes even more on the side of a slang, I would say, but most of Czechs will know them and they will understand. So let's see how it goes. The next one that we tend to say is Anung, or in a sentence, nemám Anung.
Anung, this is really funny, is basically the German word Anung, I would say, right?
Yes.
But what is Anung? If I would say nemám Anung in English, I would say I have no clue.
Yeah, exactly. No idea. Yeah.
No idea.
I think keine Ahnung in German.
Keine Ahnung. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we are just adding nemám, I don't have, and then Ahnung. So yeah, that's how it works. Then, especially in sort of old archaic Czech, we would say apatika.
Apatika. Would that come from apathisch?
Apotheke.
No. Okay, I
very
only
close,
know.
Very close. Okay.
Yeah, nah. I only know lekarna. So lekarna is probably again the written word. And
yeah. But again, as you said, you wouldn't find it written on pharmacy. There would be written lekarna, which is the proper way how you should say it in Czech. Yeah. So then this is one of my favorites, and that's pucovat.
Pucovat. Sorry, pucovat. Pucovat. But what I recognize is the first part is putz, and that comes from putzen, which is to clean.
Exactly. Yeah, that's to clean something. Like if you would be
really,
yeah. Then it's pucovat. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, maybe we can add that there is some hidden logic. Our Czech verbs, they tend to end on ovat, like nakupovat, shopping. So then I guess that they took the word putzen from German and modified it to pucovat. So then it's too clean.
Yeah, so this is basically the verb and it is the infinitive. So I clean would be pucovam.
Pucuju.
Pucuju. Oh no, yeah, right. The ovat gets the ooh. This is so confusing in the Czech language. You have so many endings to your words, and I always get confused which one goes where.
The next one I'm sure you will know, and that's fajnšmekr.
Your fajnšmekr is fajnšmekr.
I think in English it's something like if you are a gourmet or something like that.
Yes, probably. I mean, from where I come from the south, I think you could also say this to a child who only wants to eat like sweet stuff or something. So you're a fajnšmekr, man.
Oh.
Like, you only eat the good stuff. Something like that, probably. That's only slang. So the proper translation is gourmet.
The next one is Zimra.
Yeah, Zimmer should be Zimmer.
Yeah.
Pokoj. The
room.
pokoj is the other. A room is a room. Yeah.
Exactly. So now you even know another Czech word for this Czech word. So I guess you are doing well when it comes to learning Czech language. Then we have deka.
That's a deke. Deka is a deke.
Blanket in English.
A blanket. Well, yeah, it would be a blanket, right?
Yeah. Okay. So then I have here Finta. In Czech, that's like if you want to trick someone, a trick. I think in German it should be something similar, maybe Finte.
Finte. And a Finte.
Yeah.
I think it should be a Finte, but that word is so old. I honestly, I never used it.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah. I think that most of these words are coming from those Austrian or Austro-Hungarian times. So some of them are super old for you as German, but somehow they are still maintained in the Czech Republic. So the next one is flek.
Yeah, flek is flek.
Yeah, a stain in English. And then I also like how we have many words for strange people in Czech coming from German. Like, for example, one of them is Gauner.
Gauner, your Gauner is a Gauner.
It's like a rogue in English, I would say. And another one is raubíř.
I don't know that one.
I think it's like...
Ein Räuber?
Yeah, that's the one.
Ein Räuber, yeah. Ein Räuber.
And then we have another word for a scammer, I would say, and that's a hochštapler.
Hochstapler. Yeah, that's a hochstapler.
Yeah. And then one of those that the meaning is slightly different in Czech and in German is Gesicht.
Gesicht? Well, I would say Gesicht.
Yes.
Which is my face.
Yes. And in German, it's normal word for face, right? But in Czech language, it's used like if you would meet a person that has like an ugly face, or if you would be doing like, and he would say, oh, the Gesicht.
Ah, okay. That's really funny. I'm coming from the south, and this is what you call Swabian or Schwäbisch, and the Swabian dialect, basically, they also have a lot of very, very old words. And in the Swabian language, you also use Gesicht, literally Gesicht, not Gesicht, but Gesicht, also in the Czech meaning, basically. That's really interesting, actually.
Ah, cool.
And I think there are, although it is quite far, actually, like the very south is far away from the north here in Bohemia, but I think there are literally people who traveled back and forth back then and took their language with them.
I see many similarities, especially when it comes to Bavaria, because I guess that was the closest place for the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
so
true.
And Schwaben is not that far away, so maybe.
No, that's the neighbors.
Yeah. So, are you not yet tired? Are you looking forward to next words, or should I change?
Next one.
Yeah, okay.
Next one.
Okay.
This is really funny.
So the next one is Gschund.
Gschund.
And that's something that we used in the case that something is of a very low quality.
Schund, yes, we have the German word. It's just like Schund. Yeah, that's true. But that's also a very, very old word. Nobody really says. My grandma would say that.
Your grandma would be doing so well in the Czech Republic.
Yes, she would. Yes, she would. Yes, she would.
Okay, then I have another word for criminal. And it's lump.
Yo, lump. It's. I think it's a Swabian word, but in the south they say, "So I lump, such a lump, such a lump." Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So here I can use another Czech German word to say that you are correct, and I can say máš recht.
Nash recht is basically du hast recht, which is you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I also was quite surprised when I was learning German is that you are also using the same word as we are for backpack.
Ruksak.
Ruksak.
Yeah, Ruksak. And it's not only Ruksak, Tasche is also Tašku,
Taška.
Taška, yeah, which
Yeah.
is basically Tasche. In DM, here in the Czech Republic, they're always super polite. They're always like, Tašku. And I'd never understand the rest of it. They probably say, do you want to have a bag?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Tašku? Nee, děkuji. No, thank you. I have. One of my first words. I was like, yeah, I understand something.
So I have here just a few more words. Sometimes for hospital, we are using a word Spital.
Ja, Spital. That's an old German word as well.
Yeah.
Spital.
Again, old one, because you are using Krankenhaus these days, right? Not exactly Spital, yeah. Then one probably important for you as someone who moved to the Czech Republic is a word Stempel.
Ja, Stempel is Stempel, which is your stamp. I learned two more words, which is couch is couch, which is a sofa. Yeah, you're
Couch.
saying couch, right? And couch is the German, and I think couch you can say in English.
Yeah.
And then there is Speis, which is a Speisekammer where you put your food, like your little storage room for food. This is Speis. I was like, yeah, Speis. Yeah, we know Speis. That's cool. Yeah. And one of my friends, she worked for, I don't know, 2 months in a Krankenhaus, in a hospital in
Spital.
Germany, in a Spital. And they tried to explain her to go to the X-ray place. She was like, X-ray, what? And then suddenly they said röntgen, and she was like, rentgen, yeah. And then she understood because it's also the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are brand new to the Czech Republic. You moved in September of 2020. So what brought you to the amazing land of Bohemia?
That's a cool question. I love this question. I've not been able to talk about it for a while now, actually. It started a long time ago. I met my now best friend Julie in Germany, and she's from the Czech Republic, and she worked there on a camp, and I worked there too. And why ever we had to share the same camper, and we found out that we get along so well that it was such a pleasure to work with each other that we continued to do that the second year after and the next year after that. And at one point she said, you have to visit me, we have to see each other more. And I said, yes, absolutely. So I went to the Czech Republic the first time, probably 6 or 7 years ago. I loved the mentality of the people already back then. And it was just so nice to be with her and see the north of Bohemia. I like it. I like the landscape a lot. Back then I said, oh, I should move to the Czech Republic, but I never did. And I never thought I would ever do that in my entire life again. And somehow in July of 2020, my husband and I thought we need a change. We did not want to live in our apartment anymore. The neighbors back then in Germany were terrible, probably because of COVID and being grounded at home. I don't want to blame them, but I wanted to leave anyway. And so did he. And we asked his company what would happen if we would move somewhere else, because we said, if we are going to move now, we want to buy a house because we want to have animals. They said, okay, right now everybody is working remote due to COVID, whoever can, which was super good. And suddenly one of his bosses said, so why don't you want to go to the Czech Republic? And Chris was like, my husband was like, what? And they told him they could help open a Czech company, which was like, okay, wow, that would be really interesting for us. We said yes, and we moved. And now we're here.
Okay. And so your husband is German as well. And
Yes.
what about his level of Czech? Does he need it, or is he fine with just German and English?
Right now, he's fine. And I probably need Czech more than him right now because I do all the shopping. So it's really funny. But at one point, there will be more employees in the company, and they will probably also, all of them, talk English because IT people talk English in the entire world. But it would be nicer to talk to them in their home country language. And since we're here, we do want to speak no, not English. We want to speak Czech. We want to speak Czech, of course. Anyway.
Well, now that we have touched a bit the topic of shopping, I'm just guessing that it must be actually quite easy for you because there are all those German shops like Lidl, Kaufland, Penny, DM, and so on. Usually they have a lot of really products from Germany and there is only that sticker with Czech language, but the original packing is still in German. So is it easy for you?
It is easy, definitely. Yeah, we realized the same thing. You have these whatever glasses and packages and whatever, and you just put, or the Czechs just put a sticker with the translation, and that's it. And for us, it is so funny because Germany would never do that, and yet it's so simple and such a good idea, kind of. And we actually stopped, or I try to stop reading the German stuff because I want to know the Czech words, but I can like compare it. So that's a pretty cool lesson to learn, actually. And friends of ours, they said, yeah, you must have a lot of trouble going shopping because you don't really know the words, right? And we were like, no, because you only need to know hotovost nebo karto, which is cash or card. And that's it, because everything else has a picture on it so we can see what it is, and that's
I'm quite surprised and quite happy to be speaking to an expat who is not living in one of the biggest cities, but actually in Jablonec nad Nisou. So I wonder, what's your experience? Are you getting along more with English or German?
there are people who speak English, there are people who speak German, but it's more English, definitely, because the younger ones, they did not learn German. The older people here, they still do know some German, actually, from back in the days, Some of them might have even been in Germany for a while or whatever, depends on how old they are. Yeah. And the younger ones, we experienced that some of them, they talk English, but a lot of them, they would have had English in school probably, which we don't know, but we guess because of their age, but they refuse to talk because they're afraid to talk, which is kind of a shame because the two words English are better than nothing, and nobody is going to judge them, especially not us, since we're new to the country and try to learn Czech, which is so hard. We would never judge them.
So now that we have opened the cultural part of the talk, then I hope that for you is also, well, okay, in my case, my favorite Christmas movie is Tři oříšky pro popelku. Or
I knew you would say that. Everybody who's like, oh, you're from Germany, so did you know that there were, and I always mix it up. You have to tell me, German actors or Czech actors in the other
Czech
country?
actors.
In the German country.
Yes, Moritzburg is the castle there. Yeah. So apart from that, for whatever reason, there are several TV series that are very well known in the Czech Republic, but their quality is not the best from what Germany can offer, I would say. Because in particular, every Czech would know TV series called Kobra 11 or Kobra 11.
Kobra 11. Really? Is this popular here in the Czech Republic?
Yes, everybody would know it. You can ask and they will tell you, oh yes, Simir Gerchan.
I have to check that if I ever see Czech TV.
Okay, then from the land of bizarre German TV shows that people know in the Czech Republic, I prepared a few more. I'm not sure if you will know them because I think that they are so random. I guess that they were in some discount and that's why Czech televisions bought them or something. Because one of them is called in German, Der Bulle von Tölt. Do you know it?
No.
Yeah, you know it?
Yeah, but I think that's like because I come from this region where people watch these things. I think my grandma would have watched this.
For whatever reason, I guess that the name sounds so complicated, so they translated the name of the TV series in Czech language to English, and in Czech it's called Big Ben.
Big Ben. It's so funny. It's cool.
One more TV show that probably your grandma is familiar with is called Der Bergdoktor.
Yeah, of course. Oh, she still watches that. Yeah. I've never seen it, but I know she loves it. And every time I call her, she tells me, oh, this and this happened. It's like, wow, yeah.
Okay, so in this case, the translation to Czech is the correct one because these TV series are called Doktor's Hor. Oh, I wanted to ask you the important question. Once that it was actually the topic of the day that you will actually move to the Czech Republic, what were you expecting or not expecting to find there?
I don't know if this is embarrassing now or not, but I will talk about it. We only talked literally about two things. First of all, we said, okay, things are a little bit cheaper, like a third in percentage, which is really a weird calculation. No, it's not a weird calculation. It's really weird when you experience this here because food is as expensive as in Germany, honestly. It's just the fact. And the second thing we were thinking about was, hey, there are mountains, especially in the north of the Czech Republic, and we both climb. So we can't wait for spring to go climbing again. It's gonna be so cool. They have so many climbing areas here. Seriously, we can't wait to get out.
Now we are getting also to the important information that you actually have a YouTube channel called Creative in Czech. And you are not only recording there some crafts, but also videos from your trips to Czech nature, right?
Yes, I do. I started to film the Czech Republic. So first of all, yeah, with my videos, I do want to share this beauty of the nature here. I will probably also start vlogging how moving was and what we experienced because people keep asking what happened.
Are you planning to do these vlogs in English or in German?
Both, because I have German viewers who do not understand English and they're my followers. I do want to give them content, but I also want to like reach the entire world, and English is the world language. So, and I don't think it's that big of a deal to do both right now for me. So I just do both.
Recently, I was talking to Pakistanis that moved to Liberec, so quite close to you. And he was talking that he was surprised to see those nudistic beaches that are in Liberec. So I guess for you, it won't be that surprising, right?
I have been told for 2 years now, I have to go and look at it. And I have not had the time to go there yet. But I come from cities in Germany where they do that too. So I'm like, yeah, they probably do that all over the world and bigger cities. This is so funny. It's really funny if we talk to German people and we talk about bigger cities. Liberec would be such a small city for Germany, but here it's a bigger city and it's still so cozy and small. And I really love this.
How are you doing in Jablonec? Is there expat community or do you feel like the only foreigners all around?
I think because of COVID, we didn't really look for communities. There probably are. The only funny thing we realized is that the apartment beneath us, there is a man from the UK and his wife is Czech, but she moved to him 12 years ago. And now after 12 years, they came back. So yes, we have foreigners here in our house, like one more.
So there are there are probably 3 foreigners in Jablonec, not Nisou, and they are all in one building.
Yes, probably. We have a Czech teacher right now twice a week, so there we are kind of forced to talk Czech, which is good. So we do learn. And we listen to the radio a lot to get the tone of this language, which is hard for Germans, but I think it's beautiful.
Oh,
And
really? The sound of it sounds beautiful to you?
yeah,
Oh,
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I mean, there are some people who talk it really harsh, but there are some people, especially women, it's not really singing, but it's almost as if it was a little bit more in a singing way. I don't know, and I just loved it forever. And I also have to say, I don't know why. I cannot explain this feeling, but we moved here and I feel at home. I mean, I still have this I arrived here being at home feeling because of the move, of course, but the moment we were here, I felt right. And I never had this in Germany as much as I'm here at home right now. So maybe I have heritage that comes from here or something. I can't explain it, but it's cool.
Then I think that we covered quite a lot. There is just one question that maybe you can now help if there is a listener and he or she are considering moving to the Czech Republic. For you, it's quite fresh memory. So is there something that they should really look into or that they should bring from Germany with them for sure?
Make sure you have a person who can translate for you. Definitely, you will have and need that. And people in the Czech Republic are very accepting to just having this person on the phone on loudspeaker, but be sure you make contact and know somebody. And the other thing I can tell you from my perspective, I cannot tell you how to do it. I can only tell you our experiences is we went to the office in Germany to tell them we are going to move. We do not live in Germany anymore. And we did that a week before we left. And that cost us a lot of trouble in small details, but it just took time from us. Like things like we couldn't get certain papers that my husband needed for work anymore. And not having your address on your ID card anymore gives you certain disadvantages that we discovered. Like, yeah, it was weird. We just didn't get a couple of papers the way we could have gotten them, and we needed them, so we had to go through other ways, like through international offices and whatever. So we had to drive some distances to get to papers and whatever, and that was unnecessary in the end. And you can always do it later. But I think everything else, that went quite smooth.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for finding time for this little chit chat. And I hope that you will have a lovely time in the Czech Republic.
Thank you to you too for your time. It was a pleasure.
Dear listeners, thank you for being here with us and see you next time. Bye-bye.